Hello everybody, this is Boots. Welcome to my messy desk and my emporium. This is my very first YouTube upload with my crafting, hopefully the first of many. And today I want to show you something that I've created, and that is bookmarks and embellishments for those of us that like to journal. So I've made all kinds of different ones using paper clips. It's not hard to do. It's a little hard on the hands, but it's not hard to do, and they do look lovely when on your journal. I'll just grab one for you just to show you the cover. There's one that I'm making at the moment. A little nostalgic journal, and I've actually got one sitting on the front there. You can see it's just hanging there like that, or you can put it on a book and hold your pages. So you can put one on the front of your signatures, you can put one on front of a book that you're reading. Don't have it inside in between your pages, so to speak, unless you've got the room for it in just a normal book. But yeah, for any embellishments on the spine, they look great. There's one on the spine there that I've put down, and you can also make the short ones, which I will show you. Sorry, I was just hitting that right up on the frame. And you can put them on the bottom here as well if you want to. So there they are. Lots of lovely designs, easy to do, and a great way of using up your bits and pieces. So here's all the different, I've done so many because I've been practicing, but here's a few that are just lovely. I've got a piece of tumbled glass on this one. That's very much like, you know, the glass, ocean glass. Excuse me. We've got, oh, that's our little crystal skull for those who would like something a little more gothic. You can hang something off the bottom or not. Now, I fashioned these off, the original idea was from those Moroccan lamps that you see, and that was really the design that I wanted to do. So only some of them have got little dangly things, but I wanted to get that lantern kind of look to them so that they're rather quaint and cute. So I'm going to show you how to do those. And also in here, let's see if I can pull one out for you, is the little embellishments that can go just on a tab or on the bottom of your spine or something like that, just to add that little bit of something. And honestly, you don't need to have too much lying around to do it. You can use your paper beads that you've made. You can use just bits and pieces that you may have, say you've pulled apart an old necklace or something. Just whatever you've got around is what you can make, and just grab one of your paper clips. So let's just pop these aside. You can see all of my messy bits around. I do love being in the midst of all this goodness. So as you can see, a number of them I've been using these beads because I had quite a few of them, but you don't have to have those. So we'll just show you, you know, I've got all sorts of things from, you know, my jewelry making days, and, you know, I've dug up all kinds of things, but I'll show you a couple of different things. So we'll grab just say one of these. And I like to put two beads or two crystals or whatever it is that you want to use, one larger and one smaller, just to get that cascading kind of effect. So perhaps we'll use those two. I think that's probably the best one for now. You can make Christmas ones too. I've made a couple of Christmas ones. Oh, and we'll get another couple out for one that can just hang on to the bottom. Let's see. Let me see. The rondelle, I find the rondelle shapes are quite good. That means that they're a little flat rather than a complete round. They tend to lend themselves to it. It's for the ones on the bottom, and then, you know, you can, just to do the same ones, I think, and then you can put a round one second to it. So. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to grab ourselves a couple of paper clips. It doesn't matter what colour that you have. We'll do one of each. And all I do is I take this outside piece here and I'm going to open it up. All right. Now I try and do as much of this by hand as I can because they are a coated wire and they don't like the pliers very much. I do have the nylon coated pliers that I can use if I want to straighten them up. It doesn't matter too much if they've got a little bit of a kink in them. But so, you know, we can just give them a bit of a squeeze. You see it's not like perfectly straight, and that's fine. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this over, straight over, we're going to bend it in half. I'm going to bend that in half, like so. You see that? And then we're going to just, not quite out here, so we're going to open that up a little bit, and we're going to bend it straight down again. I use it about halfway along, like that, and then I'll just move it in a little bit. Okay, that's so, and you can just straighten it up as you go. It really doesn't matter. It's your end product that you do the straightening, and that's going to give us this kind of look. You see that? So that's what we're going for. Right, now on the bottom of this we want to have a bead, just to give it some kind of, you know, a base. We want a spacer bead. So what we want is 2 little beads like this. Sorry, my arthritic fingers don't like them. So 2 of those. Then we're going to want 2 bead caps. Now I've got all different mix of them. Now they don't have to be the same. This is the good thing about it. They don't have to be the same, because one is used as a cup and one is used like a hat, if you will. So that happens. So we'll just grab, come on, out you come. There we go. We'll grab those 2. And what you're going to do is you're just going to pop your little bead on, like so. I forgot my spacer bead, didn't I? So, do I have it in there? I think I do have a couple in here. Don't do what I did and mess them all up. This is me. I like throw everything in. It becomes a veritable fruit salad of goodness. And then I dig through for, you know, the things that I want. So it certainly doesn't save you time, but I do love the feeling of the lovely cool beads, you know. So I'm going to put a spacer bead on there. Then I'm going to put my little cup bead on. I'm going to put my major one on. There he is there. Then I'm going to put another head bead, but I'm going to, bead cap, I beg your pardon, but I'm going to put it up that way, right? So that's ready to hold this next bead. As you can see, we're starting now to go down in size, and we are simply going to put our little ball bead on there, and that's the way it's going to look. And it's just that simple, right? So then we go, now this is the hardest part, I think, out of all of it, because this wire doesn't like to loop. So we're going to bend it on a right angle, and then you're going to get your needle nose pliers, and you're going to make your loop. And this is the bit that it doesn't like, and this is the bit that my hands don't like, but I get it done with a bit of playing around and maneuvering and all the rest of it. So there we go. And that is your paperclip done. So you've got a nice little, you know, classic, almost Victorian looking one there. If you wanted to get even more fancy, you can make a little embellishment for that to hang off the bottom. You can put a little charm on it, any number of things. There's a couple in here that I have done that I will grab one out for you. I've used a coloured paperclip, and I've made a fun one that you can perhaps pop on a scrapbook or a journal that's for a child, or it's showing the day. Perhaps you want to mark the part in the journal that's for a birthday or something, and that's got a little bit of a little snow globe in there with stars on it. Very, very pretty. The lighting's just being a bit strange today, but that's okay. And the other thing that I managed to do, let me see if I can show you where it went. Goodness, I've made so many. I should have prepared myself. Here it is. So here's one here that I've made in all the nice old vintage tones, and I've put a vintage penny on the bottom. Now these are no longer in circulation, so it's quite legal for me to drill them. FYI. So that's something of interest, and they make terrific gifts for people that you know that are readers, journalists, or you want to make a journal or something like that and you want to pop something a little bit special on it, then that's exactly what these are great for. They hold quite well, they sit quite nicely because you've still got that bit, so you'll slide it on with that going behind and it will hold your papers, mark your place and look gorgeous all at the same time. Or you can pop a jump ring on it and hang it from any part of your book. So we'll do that once again just to show you. This one's in silver, so I'm just going to open that up. My nails will look a little ratty after all this because I tend to use them to open up loops and things when I really probably shouldn't do that, but anyway, you know, shoulda, coulda, woulda, didn't. Right, so we're going to take our flat nose pliers there, jeweler's pliers, and we're going to bend at a right angle, opposite side of where it is, okay? And then we're going to go about halfway in the middle of this loop and we're going to bend it the opposite way. I find that way it lines it up a bit better with the middle. Of course, you can do it off to the side, you can do it anywhere, any way that you think is appropriate. You know, this one here is more off to the side. You can see I've made that one a little bit more, and so that's ready to go. Like I said, it doesn't matter that, you know, you've got a bit of wonky in it, doesn't matter at all. So we're going to go to the silver and we're going to pop that on. Forgot about the spacer again. Boots, come on. Is that the right one? Yes, it is. So we put our spacer on. Now, we could do those, but if you've got any of these sort of cheap European beads, you can use those as well. Let's say, you've got one of these. Now, what I do, most of them do it, and I've mixed them all up so much that I don't know which is which. Let's see if this is one of them. It is. So I take out the center. You don't have to, but sometimes the bead cap doesn't hide it and it can look a bit strange. So, but you can buy them without the center in them. So you might have them hanging around. You might have an odd one left over from something that you made. You know, they don't have to match. So what I do is I get a couple of bead caps. Now this one can be a little bit tricky and I will sometimes use glue, but I'll explain it to you and take you through it nonetheless. So I'll pop on the bead cap. You can see this has got a very big hole. Now what I will do, I won't do it right now because it'll take too long, but what I will do is I will pop a little bit of glue on there, either E6000 or something to that effect. I'll pop it on there and then I'll use one of my, I use these clips a lot. These are actually quilting clips, but they're great for craft. And I just pop it on there and hold it and I let that set. Right, it only takes a minute, but we'll just keep going and pretend that's set. Then we put its little hat on up the other way, right? And then we find a crystal to pop in there. Let me see, have I got one here that I can use? Because I didn't prepare earlier. Let's have a look in here. What have we got? Something, anything really, it doesn't really matter. How about, well, that will do just for the point of the exercise. So we've got another one in there. We actually could do with a round one. Oops, a daisy. All right. Popping it on. I'm going to pop a green one on there. Now you'll find that most of them, these sizes, that the wire will go through them. And then we'll just pop another one on of the little ball beads there. Right, you can see that's sitting a bit wonky, but it's only because I haven't glued it. Okay, I'll pull this undone afterwards. Seed beads don't often go on these unless you've got the large hole seed beads, but play around with them, you know. Everybody's got paper clips around. Now this one's a little bit long, so we might snip that a little bit. Point it away from you. It does like to fly. And make your loop. Ideally, needle nose pliers are the best for this kind of thing. You can see how these ones tend to move, so I set them with a little bit of glue so that they sit in place and don't slide around like that. But that's what I've done with all of them, and so you get that little lantern shape, and they look really lovely. So that's basically it. The rest is up to your imagination, how you want to do it. The little ones are just done pretty much on a head pin. When you're making your jewelry, you've got just your single head pin, and you do the exact same process. So it's very, very simple, very straightforward, and you can make some really lovely little embellishments for gifts, for your journals, just something that's your own touch, you know, on things. Let me grab this one out. As you can see, that's just on a little bit of I've actually got a stainless steel head pin on that one, and so I've put a couple of little jewels on there. Let's see, get it on that one. And this one's got a flamingo on the bottom. So that was just a charm that I had hanging around that I thought would be cute. And you can hang that on a spine, you can hang it from the bottom, whatever you like. Goodness, you can hang it from a pen or a diamond dot pen just to personalize it, any number of things. So that's what we had today. I hope that you enjoyed that little tutorial. It was messy, it was, you know, fun. That's pretty much me. Handmade by me. So thank you for watching. I hope that you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time. Bye.